In 2022, we had the first edition of the story series, which is an extension of the PPK Flag Fiction Contest. And I remember saying that 2023 will be quite different. Yes, it will be quite different. And of course, we are already in 2023. Now, in this video, I am going to take you through the submissions, the very first edition of the submissions heard in January. Okay, yes, we are going to have for other months. However, this is just for the month of January. Hi, my name is Precious Osikha. I write, edit, publish, teach you how to write and get paid. So, the theme for this January edition of the story series says write a story about a hidden cure for a loved one, and the word count is 200. We received a couple of submissions. However, we were able to come up with these particular submissions because they met up to the word count. So the word count was a very, very big criteria. Why some other participants submitted more than 200, I couldn't accept them because it exceeded the word count. However, I had to stick with these ones that were able to stay within the 200 word range. Okay, so let's go further and check out these story submissions. Let's see what they were able to do, okay, if they were able to do justice to the prompt. However, before I go further to talk about their submissions, please, if you are a returning subscriber, I want to say a big thank you. Thank you so much for always coming back to my channel. You always keep watching the videos. You never stop watching the videos. And if you are new to this channel, let's say it's your first time you're coming across any of my videos at all, a big welcome to you. And please do well to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. You are very free to invite your friends to come over here to watch the videos on this channel. And yes, watching this video is very important because the more you watch this video, you're going to be helping these participants. Remember, the story series is where we write together as a community. So please, if you are just coming across this particular program, okay, or the story series on my channel, you can just go to the playlist, the story series playlist, okay. When you get there, you can watch it from the very first video to see what this whole program is all about, and then have a feel of what happened in 2022 and of course down to 2023. Okay, once again, the team says write a story about a hidden cure for a loved one, and we have the very first story. Okay, the story we have here is written by Okafor Light, a hidden cure for a loved one. So this was the submission on that team Adiche. Okay, well, why this is very cool, I was quite happy that this particular participant was able to deliver something. Okay, although here are one or two observations about the work. Remember that in the story series, my own goal, my own aim, and my vision for this entire program is to help writers out there, writers who are coming up, and also writers who feel that they are doing great but still want somebody to take a look at their work and also want to cultivate the habit of writing daily. So of course, I am going to be saying one or two things about the stories, and that is why whatever I say, please do not take them too hard, too personal. Don't be too hard on yourself. Just know that you are growing. And of course, if you're here, maybe you didn't participate and you really love to participate, please ensure that you read the description part of the videos to understand how it works, okay, to understand how it works and how you can join the next edition. All right, all the same, these are my thoughts about the works. I'm just gonna go straight to the point. So for me, when I read this particular story, all I could see is that the story had potential. Okay, it had potential, but from what I observed is while there were lots of dialogues going on for us to understand how the story goes, I just noticed, okay, I noticed that there's still more work to be done. There's still a whole lot of work to be done. For example, when it comes to grammar and punctuations are very, very important elements or parts when it comes to writing. When you get your punctuations wrong, it becomes a problem. The flow might no longer be there. Okay, and sometimes when you do not put the correct punctuation, the reader might not really flow with that story. So that is what happened here. And also I noticed that there was no lot and lots of telling, okay, rather than showing what's going on, showing what's happening. Okay, and now it is a 200 word story, but somehow I feel like there were too many things happening, so you wanted to tell like over 1,000 plus words kind of story in just 200 words, which it was another problem here. So when we are looking at a 200 word story, is a flash fiction. Okay, it's something that you just pick a scene or two and then you hammer on it. But yeah, you were trying to write something that ordinarily should have gone for over 1,000 plus 2,000 plus words, trying to put it in 200 words. It's not really possible. So I felt that, and because of that, it hindered the whole storyline, and at some point I couldn't flow. I had issues flowing with the story. But that doesn't mean the story is bad. Of course, like I said, this story has lots of potential. So you need to keep going back to the drawing board. You need to keep going back. You need to keep working on your craft. You need to keep writing. And also I would suggest that you read more books, especially flash fiction books. Okay, that's short stories with this kind of length. Okay, read them to see how they are written. And of course, nothing stops you from having someone to always guide you, okay, like a coach or a mentor in that particular field, in the field of writing. I'm very, very specific about this. Not just any writing, but in creative writing that is really going to help you. Okay, all right, thank you very much for your submission. Okay, we have the next one, which is written by Okechukwu. Okay, I got intrigued at some point, especially when it got to the title Heads by Butter. I was intrigued by the title. Okay, and I also loved how the beginning started. The only thing I'm just going to say is, of course, before you submit your work, please do your best. Okay, do your best. Always try your best to go through that particular work. Okay, go through that work, because of errors here and there. Remember that you are putting this work out to the public. You're putting it out to the public. It's not just for your own personal consumption. Okay, so please always go back to check out what you have written, because at some point, because of the errors, I got lost at some point. But I also like that you were able to come up with something. Okay, I like that you're able to come up with something, and from what I can see, you are, if you can put in more and more effort, you are really, really going to be a very, very good storyteller. Thank you very much for your submission. Okay, the next one here is written by Anthony Edekan Anthony. Okay, Tangled with Faith. All right, now I kind of liked the beginning. Okay, I kind of liked the beginning, but I feel like at some point the whole story was sounding like you were just talking to yourself. You were not soaking me into your story. It was looking like you were putting too much of yourself in the story, as if the whole story was written for you to consume, for you to understand. So I couldn't really connect so well with the story, but this is my own personal feeling to the story. Okay, someone else can also read it and still feel like they were able to feel your story. Okay, but I couldn't really feel it at some point. Then also, I also noticed your punctuation of a thing. Now, when it comes to dialogue, there's certain punctuation that works for dialogue, okay? So I feel like you should work on these things, all right? Work on these things. And then, of course, when you are writing, try to put in more life to your write-ups, okay? Putting more life to your stories, okay? So if you're able to do this, trust me, over time you are really going to be good in your craft. Okay, so that is it. Was my thoughts for the works, okay, for the works that I have showcased on the screen. All the same, I want to commend this participant. I want to say you did a very, very good job. Thank you very much for submitting.